One of the most influential lobbyists during the Obama administration was a woman named Johanna, a former colleague of mine. Johanna visited the White House more than anyone for a number of years. And you could tell that by looking at the White House appointment book. Any meeting with the White House is logged, and Johanna's name was at the top. But even Johanna, with all her connections to Democratic Party politics, all her influence, she couldn't just walk in. She needed to make an appointment. Vayikra el Moshe. Hashem would just call to Moshe. Pe el pe adaber bo. Ka'asher yedaber ish el re'ehu, like a man speaks to his friend. No appointment. Hashem would just call in to Moshe. The Sifri says that Moshe didn't know when Hashem was going to speak to him next. A stark contrast from Bilam, who had to prepare himself to elevate his state to be able to have some kind of communion with Hashem. In the same way, Hashem just would call into Moshe. The same is true of our relationship with Hashem. The pasuk says in Parshas Nitzavim, "Mi goy gadol," who is such a great nation? Asher lo elikim krevim elav, that Hashem is close to this nation. Kashem Elokeinu, b'chol koreinu elav, like Hashem, who's close to us. Whenever we call out, He's there. The Rambam, in the end of the Minyan HaMitzvos, brings that pasuk when explaining the reason that the Chachamim instituted a day to commemorate the miracle of Purim. Because, says the Rambam, what the Purim story represents is that b'chol koreinu elav, is that it's true, emes hu ma shehivtichanu, that wherever we are, even in the darkest times, the times of hastara, the times of hester panim, without the Shechina apparently with us, we call out, Hashem answers, like Mordechai and Esther did in their times, which the Brisker Rav connects to Shoshanas Yaakov. Tishuasa me'isa lanetzach. This is a salvation that we remember eternally. Why? Lahodia. Shekol kovecha lo yavoshu. To make it known to people that anyone who hopes for Hashem won't be embarrassed. B'chol kareinu elav, Hashem is there wherever we call out. Rav Kalevsky connects this to the Gemara. Rav Kalevsky, Zechron Levracha, the legendary Maggid Shir in Ner Yisrael, my Rebbe's Rebbe. The Gemara there points out in Megillah, Daf Hey, I believe, that in Perek Tes in the Megillas Esther, initially it talks about the 14th day being a day of Mishteh, of a feast, of Simcha, rejoicing, v'Yom Tov, and it calls it a Yom Tov. But a few psukim later, when it talks about what they were makabel on themselves, what they accepted to do, it leaves the word Yom Tov out. The Gemara says, because malacha, like kabilo alayah, they didn't accept on themselves to make it a Yom Tov, to make it Isra malacha. That we're not going to, why not? Have a day where you can't work, where you could just focus on the nace. Have a day of Kedusha. But the pshat is, the whole, that what is a Yom Tov? What's the Hebrew word for it? How does the Torah refer to Yom Tov? Not the word Yom Tov. It's a moed. A Yom Tov is an appointment. It's a special day when Hashem has a meeting with us. Yom Kippur is a holy day. It's a Yom Kadosh. It's a day infused with Kedusha. So okay, it has a special power. But Purim, in a sense, is the anti-Yom Tov. It's the whole point of Purim is to say, B'chol kareinu elav, wherever we are. Yom Tov or not a Yom Tov. Good day, bad day. Holy, unholy. Shechina, no Shechina. Doesn't matter. The Shechina is always. B'chol kareinu elav. Hashem is always there. And the Sfas Emes puts a sharper point on this. The Sfas Emes says, you know why they didn't accept an Isser Malacha? Because if there was an Isser Malacha, then there would have to be Havdalah after Purim. And they didn't want Havdalah, a separation after Purim. Purim is not miyuchad. It's not contained to a day or a time. It's all the time. Purim is a message that's universal. It's timeless. That b'chol koreinu elav, that whenever we call out to Hashem, He's there. There's no havdalah. There's no end to that. And I think that could be the pshat in the famous Chazal, that la'asid lavo, in the future, in the times of Mashiach, all the Yamim Tovim, asidim lehisbata, will become null, except for Purim. Why Purim? Because Purim is not a yontif. It's exactly that point. Because Purim, the other Yamim Tovim, they're a special day. In the future times, it's not special anymore, compared to the times that we're living in, a time surrounded by godliness, where that permeates all existence. There's nothing that stands out about this Yom and that Yom and Pesach and Shavuos and Yom Kippur. Well, they lose their luster. They're not special relative to the entirety of the time. But Purim was never about being a special time. It was never about being a special day. It's b'chol koreinu elav. Purim is just to remind us that whenever we call out to Hashem, He's there. Bad times, good times, it doesn't matter. So it could be the darkest times or the brightest times, the unholy times or the kedusha of Yemais HaMashiach. Purim is still there. L'hodia that Hashem is there for us. B'chol koreinu elav. Sometimes the Yetzirah tries to tell us, it's not worth it. What are you calling out for? What are you calling out for? Purim is a reminder that there's no such thing as calling out to Hashem in vain. He was there for Mordechai and Esther. He's there for us. And Klal Yisrael needs Yeshua. Individually, we each need Yeshuas for our families, for our community, for Klal Yisrael, especially in Eretz Yisrael. And it's a time, Purim, to be machazek, to strengthen ourselves, to draw the lesson from the nace of Purim and Esther, of Mordechai and Esther, that Hashem is there, b'chol koreinu elav, and if we daven to Hashem, we will see the Teshua. B'meher b'yameinu amen.